Hello, welcome back everyone to the channel. I am Mace. Thank you for joining me for another reaction to some German content. Today we have the top 10 places to visit in Germany travel guide. I think these videos are great, probably for people that aren't from Germany, so for foreigners and Germans alike, because I feel that all of us, regardless of where you live, you can probably become a little, what would the word be? Not jaded, but you can kind of begin to take your natural landscapes and the beauty of nature within your country. You can kind of start to take it for granted after a while, I think. And we need to stay vigilant so as to not become ingracious and not become unappreciative of the natural wonders that we live within. Here on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, we have absolutely stunning nature, landscapes, and I'm sure there's many people that if they came here for the first time would be awestruck by some of our natural wonders. So let's see what we're going to get in Germany, and I'm excited to check it out. Make sure to subscribe. There is a link in the description if you want to leave me any suggestions for videos and things like that. I really appreciate it. And as we always say, let's keep this train going, baby, until I go to Germany. All right, let's check it out.
What's up guys, my name is Ryan Shirley and I want to show you some of my favorite places in the enchanting country of Germany. So here's my Germany top 10.
That's a beautiful valley.
Germany is home to some of the world's most stunning landscapes, from endless castles, medieval towns straight out of a fairy tale, and the towering Bavarian Alps. Germany has so much to offer.
Oh, wow. I watched a film recently. I think it was called A Beautiful Life. And it's about this man who refused to swear allegiance to Hitler and the Germans in World War II. And it's based on a true story. I believe he was an Austrian man, but the natural valleys which they shoot the film are absolutely stunning. And they're actually the village, the real village that he grew up in. I actually didn't finish the movie, so I got to finish it. It's a really long one by Terrence Malick. Really, really good, but I need to finish it. But I noted when I was watching it, wow, these villages, these landscapes are so unique and so cool looking.
Let's start this video off in the magical village of Rothenburg. Now, when you go to Rothenburg, you'll feel like you're walking in a fantasy movie. It's one of the most preserved medieval old towns in all of Europe. During the Middle Ages, Rothenburg thrived as it was located at the crossroads of European trade routes. At the beginning of the 15th century, it rose to becoming the second largest city in all of Germany, but during the 17th century, Rothenburg faced adversities such as the 30-Year War and the bubonic plague. Without much resources, Rothenburg's growth was halted, which aided in keeping the town preserved in its medieval state. Today, Rothenburg maintains its medieval charm, and it's been the inspiration for sets of Disney movies such as Pinocchio. If you go,
I was just gonna say, sometimes I don't want to jump to conclusions as a North American and say, oh, that looks like this, when really this looks like that. Like somebody commented on one of my the past videos when we were reacting to German castles and stuff in the This Is Germany video, and they're like, no, that doesn't look like a Disney castle. A Disney castle looks like this, which is correct. And yeah, it reminded me of Pinocchio, specifically this particular little
you can check out the famous Ploning Corner or witness the beautiful Christmas markets. Just hard to beat the allure of this German village. From Rothenburg, you can make the 3-hour drive to the beautiful city of Munich. Also known as Bavaria's capital, Munich is located in the south of Germany, about 50 kilometers from the Alps. During World War II, Munich was heavily bombed by over 70 air raids, but today the city is restored to its former beauty. One of the most popular spots is the Marienplatz Central Square. You'll find the new town hall with its stunning clock tower and historical figurines. After exploring Munich, we're going to head to the Alps to visit Berchtesgaden. Now I have to say this may be one of the most beautiful towns in all of Germany. It's just a 2 hours drive from Munich and it's nestled in the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite features of the town is the Watzmann Mountain.
Don't get me wrong, I love cities and cityscapes and all of that stuff. But these landscapes and the nature is what really get me sometimes. Like, look at that. Look at that.
Has these uniquely shaped peaks that tower over the town. It almost looks like someone took a bite out of it. There's so many beautiful churches around Berchtesgaden to explore, such as the Maria Gern Church, which offers a perfect view of the Watzmann peaks. Just south of the town is where Hitler's former Eagle's Nest retreat is located. It's now a restaurant with unbelievable views. The area is full of stunning alpine lakes such as Hintersee, which offers just incredible views. You can also visit the Berchtesgaden National Park and explore all its hidden treasures. I mean, the whole area is just pure paradise. Now, after, we're going to visit Lake Constance. Now, it's this massive lake that's not only in Germany, but also borders Austria and Switzerland. I remember I was hiking in the mountains of Appenzell, Switzerland, and I can see the lake from where I was at. I mean, it's just huge. Now, it's the second largest lake in all of Europe by volume. Now, one scenic place on the lake is this town called Lindau. Now, what makes it so unique is that it's this island. Now, it was first mentioned by a monk in the 9th century, and during medieval times, it became quite the fortified city. Today, it's a popular place to visit. I just love the harbor and just the fact that it's an island. I mean, just such a cool place. Another picturesque city on Lake Constance is Meersburg. It's located right on the shores, and it's a historical town lined with beautiful colored houses. And I just can't think of a better place to go during a warm German summer. After, we're going to visit the...
Just look at that. Like, that's the thing with Germany and a lot of other countries in Europe. I know that have like these incredible histories, architectures, castles. Somebody mentioned in, I believe that this is Germany video, that there's over 26,000 castles. And I don't even know if we have one castle in Canada, because Canada's so young. We're like a little baby, like in terms of countries, like ages, like
Hohenzollern Castle. Now, I have to say this is one of the most impressive castles in all of Germany. It sits perfectly on Mount Hohenzollern and can be seen from miles away. Hohenzollern is the last of 3 castles that was built upon this hill. It was completed in 1867 as a memorial to the Prussian royal family. Today, it's one of Germany's most visited castles, and I understand why. Another stunning castle in Germany is the Cohem Castle. The original castle was built back in the 1100s, and it made its money by collecting shipping tools on passing ships down,
like the 1100s. Wow.
Down on the river. Sadly, it was destroyed in 1689 by the French, but in 1868, a wealthy businessman from Berlin decided to rebuild the castle ruins. Today, it stands perched on a hill overlooking the beautiful town of Cohem and the Moselle River. Another stunning castle just 30 minutes away is the Eltz Castle. It's a popular place to get that classic Instagram picture, so if you're in the area, you gotta check both these castles out. You won't regret it. After, we're going to visit the capital city of Berlin. Now, today, Berlin is a thriving capital with a population of over 3.6 million people. It's an incredible...
Like how he said, it's a good place to get that perfect Instagram photo. I have an Instagram, but I really don't post on it often. There's a lot of posts on there, but like lately, the last year or so, maybe more, like I haven't been posting often. But it's just funny how, these social media apps and presences that you almost feel that you need to do, because people get feeling like they're going to be left out, right, if you're not posting. However, it does get a bit monotonous with all of the people posing for photographs and things like that. And it's very cliche, but we really need to live in the moment and enjoy that sunset that you're viewing, baby.
Incredible city with a complicated history. Now, Berlin was first documented in the 13th century. During World War II, it was the headquarters of Hitler's Third Reich and became the most heavily bombed city in history. After the war, Berlin was divided into the East and West Berlin. With the end of the Cold War, East and West Berlin were finally reunited in 1990. So one of my favorite spots is the Rothenburg Gate. It's this
I would like to get into some of the Berlin Wall stuff and East and West Germany post World War II and how all of that worked. It's really interesting. I know in a very general way like how things worked, but
this 18th century neoclassical monument that is Germany's national symbol of unity and peace. You can also check out the Berlin Wall Memorial to see remnants of the historical wall. After Berlin, we're going to head over to Hamburg. Located in northern Germany on the Elbe River, Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany after Berlin. Thanks to its access to the North Sea, Hamburg grew as the port city throughout the ages. Today it is Europe's third largest port. I just love all the canals that run through the city. Hamburg is home to 2,500 bridges, making it the city with the highest number of bridges in Europe. It reminds me of a modern day Venice. A really impressive spot in the city is the Speicherstadt. It's the largest warehouse district in the world. Now another beautiful spot in the city is the Außer Lakes. It's a set of 2 artificial lakes that are often full of sailboats during the summertime. Now after Hamburg, we're going to head over to Frankfurt. Located in west central Germany, Frankfurt is one of Europe's major financial hubs and it's home to the European Central Bank. It's full of beautiful skyscrapers and kind of reminds me of American cities. Aside from its skyscrapers and financial district, Frankfurt is a beautiful historical town. One of the most popular places is Rothenburg. It's a beautiful town square lined with colorful...
Everything's just so picturesque and like unique and looks like it could be from it must be like a location's dream. I need to get into some German films. Like I'm not too familiar with German cinema. So I need to kind of delve into that. I'll see if I can find anything here on my local streaming sites and see what I can dig up. If you have any recommendations for like the best German films of all time, please let me know. Either in the comments or in that link in the description. Just send me a quick message and I'll look for the film, and then maybe I can do some like German film reviews and things like that, because I'm a huge I wouldn't say a cinephile. I feel that's kind of a pretentious term. More of a liker of films. Film buff, film connoisseur, whatever you want to call it.
Old timber houses that will get your German vibes going. From Frankfurt, you can make the 3-hour drive to the Black Forest, now located right on the border of France. The Black Forest is a giant region famous for its dense vegetation, picturesque villages, and it's often associated with the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. Whenever I think of Germany, I just think of the Black Forest with its cuckoo clocks and just beautiful German towns. I mean, I can't think of a better place to road trip and experience the beauty of southern Germany. I mean, just such a cool region. After, we're going to head to the beautiful town of Fussen. Now, located right at the foot of the Bavarian Alps, Fussen is a 700-year-old medieval city full of old world charm. Its streets are lined with cobblestones and you feel like you're walking back in time as you explore it. I just love all the classical German houses, and I think it's so cool how the milky blue River Lech runs right next to the town. The crowning feature of Fussen is the High Castle. I mean, just adds so much character to.
So it looks like there's so many things to see. You'd really have to, like, I want to see everything, but I wonder, like, what would be a realistic economical trip, like if you went, and what were the must-see cities and the things you could see along the way, maybe going between cities. Like if you had, say, 2 weeks.
The town. If you really want to go back in time, I mean, you just gotta give Fussen a visit. Now for our final destination, we're going to visit the iconic Neuschwanstein castle. I have to say that it is the most beautiful castle in all Europe. It's what inspired Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle. I mean, it's just the perfect place for a princess. Now the castle is nestled at the very tip of southern Germany. Neuschwanstein castle is placed perfectly in the mountains with a phenomenal 360 view of the Bavarian Alps and the town below. The construction of the castle began in 1869. During World War II, the SS debated blowing up the castle to prevent it from falling into the enemy's hands, but thankfully it never happened. Today, the castle receives over 1.4 million visitors a year, so it's definitely a tourist hotspot. I mean, I just can't get over the beauty of this castle.
Like,
straight up.
Are you allowed to go in the castle? Or like 1.4 million? That's a lot of people.
Of a fairy tale. Well, that is it for my Germany top 10. I mean, there's just so many beautiful places that I couldn't cover, so I'll have to do a part 2. Let me know where your favorite place is in Germany in the comments below. I also started a relaxation channel where I post hour-long films with calming music to bring some peace and nature in your life. I did one on Germany you might like. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
All right. Fantastic video. Link for that video will be in the description, as well as the other channel there. And some stunning locations. It's obviously stunning nature and a variety of like biomes and different landscapes in Germany, which is really cool, as well as all of the historical architecture, castles, and that's the stuff that's just so amazing, and you'd really have to see in person, I think, to appreciate. We just don't have that historical groundwork and foundation and here in Canada as much. There's certain places in the United States that are starting to get, you know, like, because even the United States, their Day of Independence was what, like 1776, I think. So the New World has been occupied since what, the 1400s or something. Columbus, something like that, 1400s or 1500s. I'm not sure how populated it became and how quickly, but that was sort of when things started getting going. But you heard in this video, there's castles from like built in the 1100s, and so cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have been to Canada. If so, where did you go in Canada? I'd be interested to hear that. That'd be really cool. And or if you do plan one day on going to Canada. I know it's a long trip, but yeah, lots of interesting nature if you like camping, caravanning, and yeah. All right, see you on the next one. Just